Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello everyone, I'm Kiris. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, September 22nd through Saturday, September 28th, 2024. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. The waning gibbous moon is next to bright Jupiter, the kingly planet. The moon also passes by the Pleiades, the fiery red star Aldebaran, which is in the eye of Taurus the bull. They rise before midnight and are visible through dawn. On September 23rd and 24th, we have the moon and Jupiter with the red planet Mars nearby. Also, the fixed stars Capella, Aldebaran, Betelgeuse, and the Pleiades are nearby. September 28th, we have the waning crescent moon. It's between the Beehive star cluster and Regulus, the royal heart of the lion, the brightest star in the constellation Leo. They rise a few hours after midnight. The 7 original planets, or the OGs as I call them, are lined up this week as such. The 7 original planets you can view just like the ancient first astrologers without aid of binoculars and or telescope. Now we're starting off the week with the sun falling into the sign of Libra. The moon is in mutable air Gemini ruled by Mercury. Mercury starts off the week in Virgo. It's home in exaltation, but will change signs and move into cardinal air Libra. Venus is moving into her detriment in the sign of Scorpio. She's leaving her castle and moving into Scorpio. Mars is in its fall in cardinal water Cancer. Jupiter is in its detriment in Gemini, and Saturn is still retrograde in the sign of Pisces, ruled by Jupiter. Sunday, September 22nd, we have the autumnal equinox, the time of equal night and day, darkness and light. At this time, we have the sun falling into the sign of Libra. From the time of the equinox until the winter solstice, the sun loses 3 minutes of daylight per day. Also at the time of the equinox, when there is equal light and day with the sun falling into Libra, this ushers in, of course, Libra season. So the first thing we do is we look back over what we have learned over the past month while the sun was in mutable earth Virgo, ruled by Mercury. This is the lessons and the awareness of work that you love, work that you would love to do. Virgo brings in the health component of what is very healthy in your life. Keep that. What has become toxic, unhealthy in your life, let that go. When we see the symbol of Virgo, she is the maiden at harvest time, collecting, harvesting, but also separating the wheat from the chaff, the healthy from the unhealthy. Virgo purifies and takes away, removes what is false and fake. So sorting through your life, making lists, getting very organized, pulling things together as far as the work you would do, mind, body, and soul health. What again is good for your life? What have you harvested through all the work you've been doing over this past year? But also, the Virgo season is what has to leave, be removed from your life at this time. You don't want to keep it. It isn't in some way to your best and highest good and potential. The sun's awareness in the sign of Virgo is very much about self-reliance, doing the work and how to take care of yourself to the optimum effect. Now that we are entering the soul's awareness in Libra season, with the light diminishing little by little each day, we are in the fall dying time of the year. We see the colors start to change on the leaves falling off of the trees. The days are getting shorter. It starts to get cooler. So this time of year, when we are in the Libra season, this is very much about, one of the things it's about is, where are you out of balance in your life, which I'm going to cover in a moment. Also, the soul's awareness when the sun goes into Libra is what is it now time to give back? When the sun is at its strongest expression in the sign of Leo, that is the time of establishing your originality, who you are as an individual. It is a time of developing a very strong, healthy ego in the sense of confidence, believing in yourself and who and what you are. When we change the chapters and seasons of life, which is how the wheel of life at the equinox is turning, moving into a new time of life. When it is Libra season, then the sun is said to be in its fall, or one of the reasons it's in its fall is because Libra is the balancing of, okay, I've established my sense of self during Leo time, the sun's full expression. Now it is time to give back to nature and life. So the fall of Libra is not so much about the self only, which has already been established during Leo time. It's about the balance of giving back to life. This is one of the reasons why Libra is the sign of marriage, represented by the scales of justice, of balance. Because in marriage and all partnerships, which Libra rules over, this is the cooperation, this is harmony at its best, making peace, compromise. Libra, being a cardinal air sign, not only ushers in a new time and chapter as we enter this autumn season, but it's also about what we are giving back in the sense of looking at all different points of views and concepts. Libra is air. So this is in the realm of the mind, the imagination, the ideas, the opinions, the concepts, the different ways that different people look at different things, different values, a different viewpoint of the world and life. Now, Libra is about balancing that, the sense of self, I am, with the sense of there are different points of views. And there can be different points of views and opinions and still have peace. This is the balance and the balancing action that the new season in Libra is ushering in. How do we all get along and cooperate and keep the peace? This is Libra at its best, peace of mind and keeping the peace, even though there will be different kinds of people with very different points of view. So the best in the lesson at its best when the sun falls into Libra, meaning the ego self is, I don't want to say diminished, but the ego self already having been established is able to see the other person's point of view without the ego or sense of self feeling threatened. Many times the sign of Libra can be misunderstood in the sense of Libra can appear to be very argumentative, because if someone gives an opinion, Libra will tend to immediately start looking at a different opinion and expressing that. Why the soul's expression in Libra does that is because ultimately Libra wants everything to turn out fair and balanced. So it's instinctual to the sign of Libra, and somewhere in your astrology chart you have Libra, on one of the houses. It's just the soul's expression and instinctual to the sign of Libra to look at all different angles and points of view and consider them intellectually air sign, so that ultimately all will be balanced and fair and peaceful. This is Libra at its best, but it can appear on a surface level. Well, why is Libra arguing every point just to argue? The intention behind it is peace, balance, fairness, the scales of justice. To look at, if you were to see the symbol of Lady Justice, she's holding up the sword of truth, blindfolded, meaning making an impartial decision, holding the scales of justice, wanting everything to turn out fair and balanced based on what is fair and right, not just personal ego opinion. So as we move into this season and you have Libra somewhere in your chart, you may be a Libra. Just know that the trying to find the balance in the sign of Libra is ultimately the intention and the goal of fairness, balance, and peace. And as a cardinal air sign, they will get the conversation started, and they would need, as an air sign, to express and talk about all different kinds of things. This is the natural nature. Astrology is based on nature and what is your true nature. This is the nature of the element of air. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. We've got to talk it out. We've got to have a conversation. Think about things. And Cardinal Air Libra ushers in our new season to open up the conversation, consider all different points of views, and ultimately end up fair and balanced. This equinox time is that balance between the light and the dark, the awareness and the shadow, we could say. Now, also on this day, September 22nd, we have the ruler of the sign of Libra and Taurus moving into her detriment. Venus enters Scorpio. So Scorpio, Libra and Scorpio, which is the opposite sign of Venus at home in Taurus, is said to be banished from the kingdom. Libra is the furthest away from her natural home placement in Taurus and also in Libra. So when Venus moves into the sign of Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars, the warrior, this is like Libra leaving her beautiful castle where she's home and comfortable and has everything that she needs, moving onto a military base that is all about war, weapons, and combat. This is the sign of Scorpio, the warrior ruled by Mars. So having Venus in the sign of Scorpio, where she will be for the next several weeks, this is a time frame to pay extra attention, to put more of a focus and energy on keeping the peace. Venus is not comfortable on a military base and in the sign of Scorpio. Libra likes it nice and easy and peaceful. So when Libra has to leave her home and be in a foreign land, let's say, in exile, the furthest away from her natural home placement, what we would want to pay more attention to is making an extra effort for Venus at her best, which is the happiness, the peace, of course, the laughter. Always remember humor and laughter. This is strongly connected to Venus and Jupiter. Remember to not take things so seriously, in the sense of where can we lighten up and laugh about and have humor about things. So we want to pay attention to Venus, and wherever this is in your chart, to make an extra effort knowing that Libra's in her exile and not happy about it at all. So to lift up, to elevate the Venus component in our life, we are entering the holiday season and all the joy and pleasure that goes with that. But take care of your Venus, regardless of what sign it's in your personal astrology chart and where Venus is in your chart. Venus in Scorpio ruled by Mars can also be where you yourself are at war with yourself. Where do you beat yourself up? Venus in Scorpio. Scorpio ruling over different kinds of weapons. And where are you being mean, we could say, to yourself? Also take a look at that. Now, I want to go over the sun in Libra through the different houses. For this, you need to know your birth date, time, and place, and how your personal astrology chart wheel is set up. If you have Libra on the first house in your chart, then what has become out of balance is you yourself. The first house is your health, your vitality, how you express yourself, your look, your image, your approach to life. So with Libra and Venus trying to bring things into balance, peace, and harmony, take a look at, consider where you yourself have become out of balance with mind, body, and soul. Where do you need to find peace within yourself? First house with this Libra season. If you have the sign of Libra, second house, this is where money has become out of balance. Bringing the money situation, the abundance, back into balance, and also taking care of yourself in the sense of if you're over emotional spending, and or if you never give yourself anything nice that gives you pleasure. Sometimes, yes, it is time to spend money on yourself. Buy that item you've always wanted if you can, but be very kind to yourself and take a look at where you are out of balance in a money situation. In the natural wheel, the second house is the house of Taurus. Your talent, your abilities, what you have the knack for. If you've not paid enough attention, if you've been out of balance as far as not developing your talents and abilities, not paying attention to that, then with the Libra season, you would want to try to bring that back into balance. Do something for yourself where you feel and know you are focusing and developing what you love, what you have a talent for. If you have the sign of Libra with the third house, this is where you're out of balance in the sense of running around doing daily errands and tasks to the point it's exhausting you. Now, on a daily basis, we do have certain things to do, daily errands like going to the bank, the dry cleaning, dropping the kids off to school, things of that nature. The third house is your immediate neighborhood, and it also has to do with the little things that we do on a daily basis, but they have to get done. So if you've been out of balance and or disorganized with Libra on the third house in your chart, then this can be a wonderful time frame to initiate something new where you're more organized and not wearing yourself thin with the constant little things that are important. We have to do them and get them done, but can be wearing you out, especially a mental drain. Remember, Libra is an air sign. So what is exhausting you because it's just too overwhelming and too many things to do? If you have the sign of Libra through the fourth house of your chart, then this is where you are out of balance in terms of having private time for yourself. The fourth house rules over the bedroom, home, privacy, alone time. If you are constantly being drained because you don't have any time or very little time for yourself to read a book, to do whatever it is you would like to do, but to have some privacy, to be able to turn it off, then this Libra season with Libra on the 4th house in your chart is highlighting for you that to get back into balance and to stop beating yourself up, Venus in Scorpio in this transit, is to make it a point to have some private time. With all of the phones and social media, it can go 24/7, as I'm sure you know, that you just never are able to turn it off and have some time for yourself. This is needed with Libra on the 4th house. If you have the sign of Libra on the 5th house, this is where things need to be brought into balance in the area of your children. This is the 5th house. And if you have FOMO, fear of missing out, you've got to go to every party, every event, all of the time, and it's out of balance now. Enjoyment and parties and all of that, of course, we need that social life. 5th house, having fun. Venus is in her joy in the 5th house in astrology. But if it's constant attending everything where you feel like you can never turn down a party, an event, a social invitation, then that is out of balance. Also, the 5th house has to do with our children. Where is it out of balance as far as maybe not spending enough time with your children? And or where are the children out of balance? And that needs to be straightened out. If you have Libra on the 6th house of your chart, this is where you are out of balance as far as all of the things in your life that are supposed to be working smoothly because they work for you. Now, this is everything from employees, your work space, all of the cars, computers, phones, all of the technology and things we have in life that should be running smoothly, because the constant drain of things breaking down, this is where Libra on the 6th house needs to get back into balance. If you have the sign of Libra on the 7th house of marriage, well, this is the marriage partner, your partner in life, and where that has become out of balance. Perhaps you don't spend enough time together, you don't have enough fun together, not paying enough attention to the relationship. There's you, your partner, and the relationship. And if we don't care and nurture that relationship, this is where Libra has gotten out of balance. And of course, in the natural wheel, the 7th house is the Libra house. It is the house of marriage. Initiate with this Libra season, bringing back into balance just how much joy there is and the richness of life in a wonderful partnership and marriage. If you have Libra on the 8th house, this is the Scorpio house. This is the house of intimacy, passion. It's the house also of merged finances, taxes, inheritance, collaborations, investments, becoming aware of what needs to be brought into balance as far as how the partnership is handling the finances together, and the intimacy, the passion of the relationship and the marriage needs to be brought into balance here. If you have Libra on the 9th house, the 9th house is philosophy, higher education. It has to do with legal matters. If there is any type of contract, legal matter, things having to do with going back to school, higher education, university, faith, bringing these things back into balance is where this needs to take place with Libra on the 9th house. If you have the sign of Libra on the 10th house, the 10th house is the career, but it's also what we want to give back to the world as a legacy, our contribution, the work-life balance, getting along, bringing into harmony with the people that you work with and or for. but bringing that beauty and harmony into the world. If you have Libra, the 11th house, this is the area of like-minded people and friends that want to contribute back. The 11th house has to do with fundraisers and social things where on some level we are giving back and helping others. It's the house of causes that are very personal to you that you care about. For instance, years ago here in Southern California, there was an event every fall called the Wild Brunch. And we would volunteer and do readings at this event. It was held on the estate, the grounds of Dick Clark, who would offer the grounds of his place out in Malibu, gorgeous beyond belief, where we would raise money to help the wildlife of California. And so something like that is the 11th house. And if it's out of balance, if you have Libra there, where to not be with any kind of group or friends where it's about giving back, charity, in other words, then getting that back into balance is something to focus on. If you have Libra on the 12th house, the 12th house is the prayer, the meditation, the soul's journey as far as what you believe in, what is your spiritual life. Taking time every day for prayer, meditation, whatever your spiritual practice may be, if that has been out of balance. And you can feel the imbalance with the Venus in Scorpio, then making it a point during this Libra season to have that back on track. No time at all to go within into the richness of your soul. This is something where if you have Libra on that part of your astrology chart, is highly needed to find that inner peace, peace of mind, and of course Libra, the balance. Monday, September 23rd, we still have the moon in mutable air Gemini, which is desire for change and also a change of mind. Gemini loves to learn things. Gemini is the eternal student. So if you're just feeling bored, you want to learn something new with this new season and new time, the moon in Gemini really prompts us to do so because the moon is what we need. On Monday the 23rd, we have the moon in Gemini making a square to Saturn retrograde in Pisces, a conjunction to Jupiter in its detriment in Gemini, and also the moon in Gemini makes a sextile aspect to Chiron in Aries. So the sextile aspect brings us a positive opportunity, and with that Chiron in Aries and the moon making a favorable aspect, this is where you would want to not only learn something new and expand the mind and excite the mind, because Gemini can get bored very easily. It is connected to, with that Chiron in Aries, to a new sense of self, a new sense or a greater expression and expansion on who and what you are. Perhaps you've never seen yourself as, let's say, a charity kind of person with that Libra on the 11th house. Then this could be, I'm just going to take some old clothes perhaps and drop them off at a homeless shelter. Perhaps you've never done that before, and it gets you thinking about, well, where and how do I see myself as a charitable kind of person? That's just one thing. There are many variations and different options, always with the moon in Gemini, but this is a nice aspect as far as how you can expand on your thinking and your sense of self. Tuesday, September 24th, we have the fourth quarter moon at 2 degrees Cancer. Cancer is home and family. It's very up close and personal. It's all the deep feelings and emotions that mean so much to you. Now, with this moon in Cancer at the fourth quarter, which is when we move from fourth quarter to new moon. This quadrant of the moon is about the releasing of what we need to let go of in preparation for the time of the new moon. Now, the moon in Cancer is very sensitive. It's all about the memories and it's all the feels. But we are preparing for the new moon action. So with this fourth quarter moon at the beginning, 2 degrees of Cancer, this can be the initiation, the beginning, because Cancer is a cardinal water sign. It takes the lead. It initiates something. Then this is taking the lead as far as what emotions need to go at this time because they're weighing you down. Also, what in your personal home life and family needs to be released at this time, if anything. It's basically, how do you want to rearrange your life, your home, your family, those close and meaningful to you. This, of course, includes friends that feel like family. They are family. But this preparation time of where perhaps you're being overly sensitive, too emotional, too sensitive, taking everything so personally, and it being a big emotional drama all of the time. This fourth quarter to new moon, which is the loosening up of certain things that have to go for the new moon. You could think of it as preparing the soil, preparing the conditions to be right for the new moon action. Now, what is the soil? Where are the conditions? What's going on in your own home and family? It doesn't get more personal than the moon in Cancer, which is, what do you truly care about? Cancer cares. And so what do you truly care about in the area of your home base, your family, and the people that have emotion, meaning for you? Take that action. This is the fourth quarter moon where you're preparing a very strong home loving environment with what you truly care about and want there, because the emotions, Cancer, are in harmony. Wednesday, Mercury's Day, September 25th, we still have the moon at home in Cancer. And with the moon in Cancer, she is making a water trine flow to Saturn and Pisces. This beautiful water trine flow of fertility, abundance, how you would like to build on your business, which creates more abundance, is this element of water, moon trine Saturn, in this flow of creativity and imagination. We also have on this day Mercury still in its home sign of Virgo, its exaltation and domicile, making an earth trine flow to Pluto in Capricorn. This aspect of Mercury making this earth trine flow to Pluto, we don't get this again. Mercury is leaving Virgo this week. Pluto is on the last leg in Capricorn. This aspect right here of Mercury trine Pluto in Earth with these dignities and placements is a deep, profound transformation on a level in your life that can and will be life-changing. This is transformative. It's not a little change. When we look at the astrology every week, and it's about the personal calendar, the up-close and personal planets, and yes, the outer planets, that are like looking at your daily, weekly, monthly calendar. This is a once-in-a-lifetime with that Mercury trine Pluto. This is really take some time to let the inspiration come up. And Pluto, which is the shadow, is not just the shadow negative things. The shadow is where the gold is hidden, meaning the gold in you. So some aspect, talent, ability, awakening, epiphany, let that rise up and accept the transformation of this Mercury again, Mercury, the mind, at its best in Virgo, allowed this transformation to take place. It's never happening again in this lifetime. The Mercury trine Pluto in Earth. You could think of it this way. Have you ever had an experience, known a person, an event, something in your life, and I can think of something very specifically right now for myself, but have you ever had an experience in life where you knew clearly, my life has now transformed forever. There's no going back. The feeling of you're not the same person. It's a transformation. And this Mercury trine Pluto, this aspect is that. It's an event, an awareness that whatever this means for you, you're just not the same person anymore. It transformed your life. That transformation, it doesn't mean easy, because we're looking at Pluto, and Pluto doesn't play, just like Saturn. It doesn't mean easy. It doesn't mean it wasn't testing you, challenging you, but you got through it, and then you look back and you think, thank goodness I had that experience. It changed me forever. It transformed me forever. And you wouldn't trade it for the world. Whether it was a happy experience, a painful experience, a Pluto experience. You wouldn't change it for anything. It was necessary. It needed to happen to bring you to the next level. That's what this Mercury trine Pluto aspect is going on in your life. It doesn't have to happen exactly on that day, Mercury's day, by the way, at that exact moment. But it is the energy, the experience of transformation that is taking place in your life. And you wouldn't trade it for the world. The Mercury trine Pluto can be something perhaps you've been going through with a person, a family, a situation. It can be many different things that you have been going through something, experiencing something, and then the Mercury trine Pluto brings into the awareness, this situation changed, transformed my life forever. That's the awareness of the Mercury trine Pluto. Again, it's not that it's happening on Wednesday exactly at that moment. It's the awareness of whatever it is in your life that you've been experiencing and going through. You know this needed to happen. You wouldn't trade it for the world, and it transformed you forever. Thursday, Jupiter's Day, September 26th, we have Mercury now changing signs. Mercury, the messenger, the communicator, is moving into cardinal air Libra, ruled by Venus. So when Mercury moves into what's called a friendly triplicity, meaning the element that it likes to be in, which is air. Mercury's at home in Gemini, and then Mercury in Libra in Aquarius is what's called friendly. It's nice. And this Mercury in Libra wants to bring into balance. Again, the theme this week overall is the bringing into balance. Things where there's peace, there's harmony, you're kind to yourself, kind to others. And this Mercury in Libra seeks to focus on positive discussions, just and fair discussions. And how can we make peace? The need for peace of mind always, but with this Mercury entering Libra is very powerful and strong to bring in that harmony and peace of mind and communication. Friday, Venus's day, we now have the moon in fun and exciting Leo, making a sextile aspect of opportunity to the sun in Libra. The blending of air and fire. And when we look at Leo and Libra, this is the desire, the expression of romance, love. We're going into the weekend. It's Venus's day. It's very positive. It's very upbeat. Let's have some fun and enjoy. The moon in Leo making a square aspect to Venus, the ruler of Libra, in Scorpio. Its detriment is the need for attention. It's wanting the affection and the love. Now speak up. Ask for what it is that you need. The moon is what we need. And when it's in the sign of Leo, if you have felt like you're not getting the acknowledgement, the praise, the attention that you would like to have specifically from the love, the marriage partner, and or if you're single, put yourself out there and start looking. Libra initiates a new season. So do this for yourself. At the very least, speaking up and asking for what it is that you need and want with someone that you love and trust is very positive. We all have those times where comfort and love, affection needs to be expressed. So this is the moon in Leo as we are moving into the weekend. As we close out this week, and we're almost at the end of September, we still have the moon in Leo making a sextile aspect to Jupiter in Gemini. That's lots of conversation. No one wants to leave the party and stop talking. We've got the moon in Leo making a fire trine flow to Chiron in Aries, a square to Uranus in Taurus. That can be a battle of words over differences of opinion. And then the moon in Leo makes an inconjunct aspect to Neptune in Pisces. This is dramatic. It is the weekend. Try to keep yourself in balance, in check. But if nothing else, the moon in Leo is a wonderful time for a party and celebration. With Leo, we'll always get some level of excitement and drama. I guess that's the requirement of Leo. But it's having fun. It's social. It's needing and wanting to be with people and celebrate. So close out the week. Have a blast. Remember, try not to take everything so seriously. We are in very serious times overall. And with that, the bringing into balance of yes, but we need and love each other, and we need social occasions and some celebration, no matter what is going on with the different problems of life. As a professional astrologer, I speak with people every day, all day long. I am very well aware of people's concerns, their fears, what worries them, and I don't make light of that or try to sound like I'm making light of that in my weekly podcast. What I am trying to highlight, though, is that with all of the problems and pressures of life, the need to balance that out with some relief, with some fun, love, people you love, that is necessary too. So I tend to focus and highlight more in the podcast the need for pleasure and people and social things as a way of keeping the well-being and health in balance to the best of our ability with everything that, of course, is going on. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous week. Also, I started a new series on my YouTube channel called Wheel of Healing Astrology, where I look at the daily astrology chart and see where the potential is for greater health and well-being. Thank you. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars. Thank you.